Okay, so today we are talking about a team that has been absolutely, I'm going to say it, they have been absolutely tearing up the league this whole season. The Washington Capitals look like an absolutely incredible hockey team, and a lot of why they are performing really well is coming from not really the guys they acquired in the offseason, to be honest with you guys. So, the Capitals so far this season, it's November 20th at the time recording of this video. They are 13-4-1 for 27 points. They are first in the Eastern Conference and second in the NHL. They have been absolutely unbelievable. And it's insane because a lot of it is being profiled by Ovechkin, but there's multiple other players on this team who are playing out of their minds right now. So we're going to get into all of that here. But first off, some team numbers that I think are interesting to look at. They are 7-2-1 at home, so they have a very good home record, and they're 6-2 on the road. So this team has been good both at home and on the road so far this season, and I think that is a very good look, especially since, there are some teams who start off really good, but they may not be as good on the road or as good at home as they are on the road or at home, if you get what I'm saying. They may not be as good at one or the other, but the Capitals seem to be good at both, which is a good thing. Now, they have scored 78 goals so far this season. They have allowed 50, which is a plus 28 difference. I think that's pretty impressive. They are 7-2 in the month of October, and they are 6-2-1 in November, with still a week to go in the month. A little bit over a week, actually. But this team has just been downright awesome. I have watched a lot of their games this season. I have been talking to people that I know who are big Capitals fans as well. This team looks on fire, and it's something that came out of the blue for me. I figured that the Washington Capitals could make the playoffs. I think I had them either 4th or 5th in that Metropolitan Division. I don't know if I could have really seen them breaking into the top 3, but now that they're getting in there and they're first in the league, it's kind of turning the Metropolitan Division a complete 180. And it's kind of like the Flyers last year, where they came out of nowhere and surprised everyone and flipped the Metro around. That's kind of what the Capitals are doing this year. And it's funny because the Capitals started off slow last year, and so are the Flyers. I think that's kind of funny. But again, it shows like they have completely flipped the script in the Metropolitan Division, and now it turned into, well, what would be seemed like a pretty predictable and easy top 3 of the Hurricanes, the Rangers, and I guess the Devils, to an entire madhouse and like those 4 teams battling it out for number 1 in that division. But the Capitals right now lead the way in that remark, and I think that is very impressive. Even though we are in November, there's a lot of runway to go in the season, but seeing them start off this good has to be good news for a lot of teams for sure. Now, let's get into the players who are really performing very well for this team. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot of these players who are performing well this season are guys who they have had on this roster. Not really the guys they've acquired. They've played well, but I would say the 3 best players on this team right now are guys who weren't acquisitions this past offseason, even though they made a lot of them. Starting off with Dylan Strome. Strome has been just such a great pickup, great signing since he's come to Washington. He has 6 goals, 22 assists for 28 points. Now, he may not be scoring a ton, but he is the Nicholas Backstrom of this era in Washington. I got to be honest with you guys. He is like Nick Backstrom in a way because he's giving all of these pucks to Ovechkin. Ovechkin, 15 goals, 10 assists, 25 points. Another impressive margin there. I think Ovechkin either is tied or leads the league in goals, which is pretty remarkable when you think about it for somebody who is 39 years old. He has 15. By the way, he is 29 goals away, I think, or maybe 28 goals away from catching Wayne Gretzky. That is absolutely wild. It is wild to think. And he was looking like he was going to break it this year, but the other night he got injured. So that really stinks. I'm not saying that he still can't win it. He can still definitely break the record for sure. but it may be a little bit harder because I think he's probably going to miss the rest of November, and who knows, maybe it carries into December as well. So definitely stinks, but Ovechkin starting off this good has to be good news for the Capitals. A big question is, though, how will the Capitals do without him? That's the other question they have. Connor McMichael has also played on another level, and the guy that we saw selected, I think, like 23rd overall in 2019, he's here. 12 goals, 7 assists for 19 points, and he looks awesome too. Was one of the guys who has kind of taken a little bit to develop. I think a lot of that has to be about COVID. COVID kind of affected his development a little bit. But this has really been the year where we've seen McMichael play as well as he was projected to play. So that's a great pickup. And I would say that those three players are the three best guys on the Capitals right now. The fourth best when it comes to like when we're looking at points is Alexi Protas. He has 7 goals, 11 assists for 18 points. He's playing unbelievable. And that is somebody who was projected as a third-line player this year and would be a third-line player on other teams. But man, he has just suddenly awoken and has become unreal this season, being a point per game. That's crazy. And then, of course, you have Tom Wilson, 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points, having a good season there as well with Washington. And then Pierre-Luc Dubois, one of the new guys they brought in, he has 1 goal, 11 assists for 12 points. Now, listen, maybe you want Dubois to get on the goal sheet a little bit more because he, may not be scoring as much as you'd like him to. But I think that you have to be happy with what we're seeing right now. And the thing that I saw with LA was when they were good, Dubois got overshadowed. When they weren't good, Dubois really got exposed out there on the ice. And I'm not saying that Dubois has played bad this season, but again, I think that definitely he has improved since coming from Los Angeles in Washington. Seems like he's more into it this year for sure with the team. Other guys, Andrew Mangiapane, he has 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. I think he's been good so far as a middle 6 forward. Taylor Radish as well. 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. I think he's looked good too. Honestly, a lot of the guys they have brought in have looked impressive. And this isn't even including like guys like Nick Dowd and Brandon Duhaime, who have also looked really good on that fourth line. Again, all 4 lines seem to be rolling with the Capitals right now. And it just seems like everything is clicking for this team. Now, looking at the blue lines look good too. And for Washington, I looked at them and I was like, I don't know. A lot of offensive defensemen on that tally besides Matt Roy, and he actually got injured to start this year. And the guys who have been on this blue line so far, though, have looked good. John Carlson, 2 goals, 12 assists, 14 points. If you guys know me, I've always said Carlson was an underrated defenseman. Just played in an era where he really could not get recognized or win any Norris trophies. But a very solid offensive defenseman. And this year is off to a great start as well. Rasmus Sandin, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. It shocked me when I saw how high he was in the point totals. He looks really good as well. Trevor Van Riemsdyk, no goals this year so far, but he does have 9 assists. And then Jacob Chychrun, who has 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points. Chychrun seems like he has a good offensive side to his game in Washington where he can really move the puck on the rush. And that's what we've seen with Arizona and not really with Ottawa. He seems like he struggled with Ottawa. But to be honest, I would say that how Chychrun has played so far this year has to make Capitals fans very happy for looking at the offensive side. Sometimes Chychrun does have some faults defensively, but when you're an offensive defenseman, every guy will have faults like that. It's in their blood, honestly. So, again, the blue line looks good, the forward core looks good, and the goaltending looks phenomenal as well. Logan Thompson, 8-0-1 with a 2.63 goals against average and a .913 save percentage. He's also looked nothing short of awesome as well. He has been just great, terrific. Hasn't lost in regulation yet. Seeing him play out there, he is looking like a really good goalie and has really rejuvenated himself in Washington. Charlie Lindgren as well, 5-4-0, a 2.59 and a .90. Again, they have both played the same amount of games, which is a good goalie tandem they're running there. But both, I think, have played pretty well so far this year. Now, what I do want to talk about before I wrap things up here is at the end of this season, both of those goalies expire. They are on expiring contracts, and I think that the Capitals, reportedly from 32 Thoughts, I listened to it this morning, want to keep both of them. So that's definitely a good look, but they're going to obviously ask the goalies what they want and see where they can go from there. But again, you see the goalie tandem playing really well. Why not keep it moving forward? But again, I do want to say this. It is November. It is pretty early in the season. I think I said this about the LA Kings last year. I definitely said this about the Philadelphia Flyers last year. There is plenty of time for them to kind of fall off the wagon. And eventually, they are going to have a losing streak where people are going to be like, I don't know. But it happens to everyone. And I think that for this Capitals team, how they've been playing, I think they can really do some damage in this Eastern Conference. And it seems like everybody has woken up all of a sudden on this roster compared to last year. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on the Capitals. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, comment down below your thoughts on the Capitals so far this season. If I got anything right or wrong, or you're just mad at me, but thoughts on the Capitals so far this season. Be sure to like down below as well. And please subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. We're getting there. We're getting closer and closer every day. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.